Hello people, so welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 1046, and honestly this was like pretty much a recap of what's happening with everybody else right now, as well as showing us a little bit more of Gear 5th Luffy versus Kaido. I do have to go over, there's some tidbits of visuals that we got when it comes to like One Piece Film Red. So let's start off with the designs, and actually we got a few of more of the Straw Hats designs. So as of right now, the designs we've got are Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji and Chopper, and I believe Robin's is the latest to come out. I'm pretty sure Frankie, Jinbei and Brook will come out within the next couple of days, but as of right now, we got the full body designs for Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper and Robin. From a personal standpoint, I do like Luffy's, but I have to go with Robin right now. I think that's the best design. Just from that may be a bias on my part, but that's how I feel right now. The designs already look good from the sketch design. I said my personal favorite when the sketch designs came out was Robin. I also like the girl's design. We don't really have a name yet, but we do know she has a lot of intrigue going into this. We don't know what her role is actually going to be. So the main visual I want to touch on is the girl we saw in the opening visual that we got in the very first trailer. We got a color design. It's pretty awesome. Kind of like her hair is like split. I also want to point out her Jolly Roger is the same way. And if you noticed, the Jolly Roger also has wings, and we know the sketch design that we got in the very first visual had a girl with wings, so that's the same girl. You can assume she has wings that's being covered by a jacket. It is an awesome looking design, I have to say, and it kind of makes you wonder if she has any connection at all to the Lunarians. I don't know if she's going to be an antagonist or someone who actually helps out the Straw Hats, or possibly Shanks. We don't know. I do have to touch back on what I said when Gear 5th first debuted and Oda showed us this. I asked the question, do you think it's possible that Oda may include Gear 5th into the movie despite it's only manga right now? And I have to ask this question again because in the last chapter we literally got a description of Luffy's design in the last chapter. Like Oda literally had Yamato say Luffy's coated in all white, even his hair, like his clothes. So I wonder if that was a nod wink wink to the animators possibly. Do you think there's any possibility of that, or if no, because it's too soon and it's way too much of a spoiler, and they're going to wait until this actually comes out in the anime. Speaking of which, we have no further word. At least I haven't heard word of when we're going to get the anime returning. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not only affecting One Piece, it's also affecting Dragon Ball Super Heroes release date, because that's been delayed. So we don't know when that's coming out either. So yeah, fingers crossed things work out and get better. But let's get right into this chapter, and we've got the colours titled Raizo. We start off with a cover page, and immediately it looks like Raizo and EGG have made their way into Coco Island or Choco Town, because we see them and they're in silhouettes. It's like, I wonder if they're going to come from Pudding and go find out where Yonji and Niji are at. So that could be interesting. Like I said, I think there's going to be a back and forth between Raizo and Pudding, just because there has to be some resolution to that, considering Raizo deep down cares about Sanji, and Pudding we know deep down cares about Sanji, even though she does a lot of terrible things during Whole Cake Island that needs to be answered. So maybe this is it. But moving on, and Kaido pretty much asking the question, who in the hell are you? Kaido did get back up from that punch and is not really explained what happened with that punch. I'm just going to assume that it's because of the rubber properties that he went straight through Kaido's face, but it's still brutal because you can see Kaido kind of like bleeding a little bit. And then we actually see this serious look of Luffy for the first time since he's used this mode. We still don't know what really the drawback is. We know there's a drawback, we just don't know what it is when it comes to Luffy. I personally think it's something to do with his heart, just because after he went into Gear 5th he had to restart his heartbeat, so maybe his heart's going to get slower and slower as the form wears out. I don't know. And then Luffy just gives the classic Monkey D. Luffy, the man who's going to surpass you and become king of the pirates. That's very nostalgic, but it's also epic that Luffy in this mode is saying this, because Luffy hasn't lost his identity even in this form. So Kaido launches a barrage of attacks with his club, his mace, with a meteor shower. Luffy responds with punches of his own, and if you notice, like Kaido's body, the imprints of Luffy's punches are coming through his body. So that again, he's able to change the properties of Kaido's body. And then there's a description about the flames. Obviously, the fire's caught up to the top of the roof, which is a problem now because it's going to cover everything pretty soon if something isn't done. which the other half of this chapter is pretty much dedicated to. And it's pretty cool that Luffy's I left everything to them, so I've got nothing to worry about. Kaido uses a devastating gust attack, but Luffy dodges it by stretching himself up, and it blows right between his legs, so there you go. And then he just cuts literally to the live floor. Nami and Choppy have a reunion, even though I'm pretty sure they were in the same area, but because of the fire, I guess they got cut off. And this is something that Nami breaks up. Because they're cut off, they can't find Zoro, Sanji, Frankie, Brook, Usopp, and Robin, or Jinbei. And then Chopper kind of asks Zeus to, like, if he can put the fire out. A flame this big would just eat up. So I don't know what Zeus is going to do, if he's going to try and absorb the flames. First floor, we see Beppo pretty much KO, almost KO, because he's like, he can't take the heat. Also, I believe in the recent SBS it's confirmed that Beppo also has a Sulong form, but I don't think we're going to get to see that in this arc. So, but then again, there's a lot we didn't get to see from other characters as well, mainly the Straw Hats. Like, we got an attack from Chopper and Queen. We didn't get a 1v1 fight. We didn't even get a 1v1 fight for Brook. Speaking of which, we see Brook and Robin. They're cut off in the basement, and so we'll have to wait and see where that goes. But it's like they're cut off, but we know what's coming in the form of Jinbei and Raizo's team up. And then we see Sanji on his own, like in the left brain tower. And I like the description of where each of these characters are. By the way, the fact that we find out that Scratch Manapoo is in the basement, Brook and Robin could also run into him. Because we see one of the numbers, Eevee, punch a wall, trying to punch a wall, but he can't because the flames are too hot. And then you got Scratch Manapoo trying to like bad mouthing, and you got this look like he's about to mess Scratch Manapoo up. It's like, now would not be a good time, especially since you just avoided being killed by CP0. So then we got Usopp trying to do something, and he uses Lethal Green Star Sprinkler with his plants. So that's pretty cool. It's not going to work because it's too much flames, but it is cool that Usopp's trying to do something. Again, another character that got shafted in it. Getting a 1v1. We also got Frankie carrying Zoro, so that's pretty cool. I said it before, we're probably going to get a Straw Hat reunion once this flame dies down, because they can't jump off Onigashima. And this is where we go to like Jinbei and Raizo kind of teaming up. And the last time we saw Raizo, he did say he had something in mind, so now we know what that is. And it is pretty smart, I have to say. So apparently when they were on Zo, we actually see Inuyasha as well. So Zanisha was trying to wash it back as she usually does, and Raizo was smart enough to actually take some of that water for himself and put it in his scroll. And it is pretty cool because it's not the stereotypical like, oh, Zunisha's going to come in and put out the flames himself. No, like Raizo had the wherewithal to actually store this water and use it when he needed it. So that was actually pretty cool and smart on the part of Oda. The problem though is they're unleashing this water, hoping it's going to cover every aspect of Onigashima inside. My question is though, is what's going to happen to the Devil Fruit users? Because that's going to be a problem, especially if they get weakened, if they get covered by this, because it looks like it soaked everything, like the flames. I guess they'd rather have this than burn to death, but yeah, that could be a problem. Especially, we know another Cypherpole agent is on Wano, probably going to chase after Robin, or at least do something to chase after Luffy, because that's the main targets right now. Because I say this because we see a group literally get covered by this water. I do like how Killer's literally being carried. We don't get to see Kid or Law in this chapter, in my opinion. It doesn't look like we do. Kid and Law could still do something to escape, because obviously Kid was still stand up to Kaido even though he was maxed out from his fight with Big Mom. We got this weird panel like Chopper's in the air and it looks like Zeus is trying to like absorb the flames, but it's too much. But then we go back to the top of the Skull Dome where we have literally Yamato saying it's up to you to make Cloud strong enough to hold Onigashima. This is our only way, because they can't obviously stop it from falling. So, and I like how Yamato is saying this to Momonosuke. She's like grabbing a hold of his whiskers, like, no, you need to get a hold of this. Then we have the epic panel to finish the chapter with Luffy and Kaido about to clash, and there's two things to note in this scene when Luffy's coming down towards Kaido and the chapter ends. So first off, it's the cloud above Luffy. It kind of resembles a devil fruit, or the bottom of a devil fruit. It could be the Gumma Gumma no Mi. I mean, we've already seen this before when Luffy was transforming into Gear 50, how the devil fruit resembled the Gumma Gumma no Mi. So that's kind of cool. So maybe. And also, when Luffy's coming down, if you look at his hand, it looks like he's holding part of the lightning that's coming down. So that just could be an artistic choice on the part of Oda, or if he's literally holding the lightning. That could be epic if he could, but I don't know, it may be just an artistic choice on the part of Oda, but Luffy coming down with the lightning, they're about to clash, and I gotta ask, like, how long can he withstand this form? So I'm only going to assume that he doesn't have much longer. So this really could very well be the last clash between Luffy and Kaido, unless Luffy has some other reserves in his tank. But like I said, if drawback is like his heart getting weaker, then I don't know how much longer Luffy can keep doing this. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think the drawback is. I personally think it's something to do with his heart. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the review if you did a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Subscribe to for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys.